think Sengoku is in a good position to win that. It's a really powerful civ at the moment, even despite the nerfs that it took.
Yeah, if I look at Ezra's match history, the last custom he played was a victory. No, that's a drum Ezra, actually. Wait, hold on. What's going on here? It's just not updating. There we go.
Yeah, it updates slow.
Oh, Delhi won. So TyrusLunarspear is up 1-0 against Ezra. Good for him.
Ezra is showing a win. I think this is game 3, not game 2, but not sure.
Anyway, I know that Tyrus won 1. Let me go through the history here. The Ezra only has 1 game against Tyrus, so this is game 2 in my books.
Okay. So game 2, it looks like it's going to be played on Himiyama, which is not a... It's a very open map, and you have the ability to go for the dock early on if you wanted. But the matchup, it looks like it's going to be Ayyubids versus Ottomans.
First match was on Dry Arabia, if I am not mistaken. Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be Himiyama. So Otto Ayyubids for game 2. That's a matchup I don't see very often. Otto's played a little bit differently these days. You don't necessarily see them go for that Dark Age school. Ayyubids typically goes for some sort of Desert Raiders into the Culture Wing for the Dervishes, but against Ottomans who really just want to get Sipahi, don't know how well that's going to work out.
Yeah, I'd say this is slightly Ottoman favored in general. Especially because Sipahi are the best horsemen in the game, and so can't really go raiders. And if you go fast castle, as you'd like to do as the Ayyubids, well, Sipahi still do decently well against castle units with a feudal mass. Yeah, Ottomans is just in a really good spot.
Yeah, listen, Ottomans is one of the strongest civs right now. They're a little weak or a little slow on the uptick. The first 7 or 8 minutes, the civ can feel sluggish, but kind of once it gets going after that point, it feels almost impossible to stop.
You kind of... Do you try to go for healers and just survive to your fast castle?
So...
Could also go... you just need a military edge to deal with the starting units of the Ottomans.
I just think about the timing, right? By the time your Castle Age comes in and you go into Camel Lancers, which is exactly what you want to do, they are likely close to, if not able to, just summon a Janissary company. And, Sipahi has a little bit of a front line. Your Camel Lancers are not going to do well there. So all your tempo is gone. I kind of feel like, and this is just, I want to vomit saying this, but Ezra might have to play a little feudal with like a traditional comp just to slow Ottomans down a little bit. And anybody who plays Ayyubids knows just how sacrilegious that sounds.
So what you're saying is we're gonna see Industry Wing into Mass Feudal, Big Archer Ball into what's the word? What's the blacksmith wing again?
Master Smiths.
Master Smiths for the Archer upgrade +2 into a timing push.
Yeah, listen.
Because that is what Vortex did once, and it was really good. It looked very nice when it worked.
Yeah. I feel like for Ayyubids, they are going to have to hit Ottomans with some sort of a strong tempo timing push. Whether that's a fast castle getting a lot of value out of those lancers, which I think is really hard, or that's an industry wing into Master Smiths, into mass bows to kind of, try to surprise Ottomans. They're a tempo civ, and they're really just going to have to find a window. It's just going to be hard to find that window, right? You're looking for it in the middle of the night without a flashlight. So, good luck.
Unfortunately so. 3 minutes, guys. We are going to be having that game soon.
Yeah, so does Otto open Dark Age Military School here? Normally, it's sort of something that most players...
It's like a religious argument at this point. So if you go military school, you get your vizier points slightly faster, you're slightly slower in aging up, you potentially can do something with your Dark Age Spear, but probably not really.
Yeah, you could be annoying, right?
And
Fred,
it pays off at like 3.5 minutes resource-wise, which is really nice. Like it's a decent payoff. So if you want to go for a timing attack, you don't. If you just want to go for the overwhelming military pressure, eventually, you do. I would say you just do.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. A lot of players like to skip over the Dark Age military school, so this way they can put it down in Feudal and just go right into the Sipahi, which is the unit that every Ottoman player wants, and then slowly work towards Castle Age. You know, I guess maybe Ayyubids could... Yeah, I don't...
Then, okay, no, let me retract that because I thought about it in a different way. What do you die to as the Ottomans? You die to a castle timing of the Ayyubids. So you just want to shed everything that slows you down.
Do you die to a castle timing of the
Ayyubids? To what do you potentially die? I don't think it's a feudal all-in of Ayyubids generally.
That's the only... Like I don't see any other legitimate way for Ayyubids to come out on top. That's all I'm saying, right? As Ottomans, you kind of can play everything and kind of have an advantage in everything you play, right? You want to play feudal against Ayyubids, you're fine. You want to go fast castle against Ayyubids, like thank you very much. Ottomans likes castle age. They like free siege. So
castle against castle, I'm not the biggest fan because it's like, if you take a bad fight, you're dead. Because if you just fast castle, your Janissary company is delayed. You can't get it out to defend yourself. So it's really dangerous. But, I think you play feudal in any case just a little bit as Ottomans. Because there's really no downside.
No, you're right. And again, no matter what path you choose as Ottomans, there's not a lot of downsides for you, right? It's going to be on the Ayyubids player to win this game and come up with a strategy that's going to work. And Ottomans just feel so, once they get going, they feel so hard to stop. It's just snowball after you. And again, that math hammer aspect of the Reddit community, recently saw someone math hammered out the military schools. A lot of economic value in those military schools the longer the game goes on. And Ayyubids, not really a civ that has shown any strength in the late game. You know, they can play it.
Hey, Mass Raiders is amazing. Like, really, really, really good, but you kind of need triple university upgrades for that, which is kind of expensive. But we've got a game on our hands now, so let's find out what these guys actually have got going for us. Yeah, we'll see.
So we have a dock play coming up from Ayyubids, it looks like. Villager moving out into the middle. So Ezra.
Do like that.
Spawning on the west side of the map, going for the dock.
He pulls his scout with it because he needs to see where he has to place the dock so he doesn't delete the fish. Very nice.
Yeah, and this little spike here could...
Oh, I'm pausing for just a second.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of lag. A little bit of spike from this fishing could help Ayyubids overcome Ottomans. And we do have that Dark Age military school, though. So does the spear go to the dock, or does the spear go to the gold? And it looks like
I think the spear goes to the dock. Let's see. That's neither here nor there, I'll say. It's just to the side. But like, realistically, you're not going to kill a villager on the gold if your opponent isn't handicapped in some way or shape or form. Like, it's just not going to happen if your opponent pays attention and on this level with one spear. And if you start burning the dock, eventually, like, there's only so much fishing in this pond. It is still four of those at 600. So that's a decent number of fish, I'll say. But if you force out a galley, you're kind of happy, or rather a dhow, you're kind of happy with that because that's already a lot of investment to defend this pond. And then you go for the base.
Yeah, I think he's going to ultimately go for the gold. You get the double gold spawn there, so it's going to be a little hard for Ezra if he gets knocked off gold early, and because he went for the dock play, he's going to be slower into Feudal Age.
Yeah, the whole point of the dock is basically waste Ottomans' time, so your double golds and berries and deer on the top side of your base does not get denied, because all of your resources are here.
Yep,
oh god.
But Fred, the first spearman out, he has hit the field, and he's moving across. And he's going to cause some disruptions. So Ezra has enough to age up in terms of gold, so if he gets pushed off gold, it won't be catastrophic. Just won't be very comfortable for him either. Ezra also could rush up a tower in defense. No, he goes for the House of Wisdom. So he lost 50 wood to make the House of Wisdom. And Spear is going to go for the fishing boat, which heals itself.
He's making slight progress, very eventually. Okay, he swapped.
Alright, so if I'm Ezra, I'm happy about that, right? This Fred is going to take an eternity to take the stock down, and my gold is not being harassed, so I'm kind of happy about that. Yep. Twin Myriad Madrasa coming up, no surprises there. That seems to be the landmark of choice for most Ottoman players, because food is probably their biggest vulnerability. Their food eco is fairly basic, and so this gives them 4 berry bushes, which are harvested 50% faster, so they have some cheap access to food that is easy to defend.
I feel like it depends what you want to be doing, which landmark is the better one, but if you just want to play a little bit of feudal, invest into Sipai, then the free food is definitely great, so yeah, can't really go wrong with that. On the other side, we see Culture Wing Logistics coming in, so healers, and as we see that, there's also 4 villagers rushing out an outpost on the gold, so this is healers into Fast Castle.
Very likely, you might make a couple desert raiders here just to kind of knock the spears off of your dock. You, as I said earlier, the Dow, or you mentioned Dow is not really where you want to invest. So if you invest in some desert raiders, at least you can get some value harassing.
Yeah.
With them.
With the scout also in the middle burning and double spears here already, it might actually be the fair case that the dock is already burning by the time you are feudal. So
yeah,
doesn't really matter if you get the Dow out, because you would have to leave your base to actually rebuild.
Yeah, we're still 50 seconds away from that age up, and if another spear comes out, which he's on his way, this dock might even go down before the age up comes in.
Yeah. Blacksmith first building for the Ottomans in the feudal age. Never mind, he changes it to a stable. Caster's cursed. Still with 3 on the gold. That is quite a little bit. What is he getting? He's getting wheelbarrow. He's going for an immediate Sipahi on the military school, and more where that came from in the stable. And here comes the blacksmith.
That dock is now on fire, so we will be able to determine in just a little bit.
Drop off.
If it was positive.
Drop off, drop off, drop off, drop off. The guy is holding... Yeah, he dropped off in time. All good.
I actually might think that was a negative for Ezra here.
I mean, it only cost him 75 for the dock, and then another 75 for each of those ships.
So it's 225.
Yeah. And then...
So it is a little bit of a net positive.
Just a little bit.
Not much.
I think the net positive really comes from keeping Lunarspear's scout in the middle and his eyes bound.
Yeah, so the net positive is 44 food.
Yeah, and he still has 2 fishing boats that he could be using if he were to get another dock up.
Yeah, so Ezra clearly going Castle Age, not going to be able to defend his dock or redock anytime soon. Blacksmith comes down for Lunarspear.
Ezra was really defensive here. He didn't really take his berries all that much. I would have expected him to fully eat through the berries and then go for the sheep, but now he doesn't really have too many sheep left. He has a decent haul in general, but if there's a bunch of Sipahi around your base, you can't really go for outside resources anymore, so this is really scary. Ezra, though, almost ready to click to Castle Age, just needs 250 food still.
Yeah, and this is just the sharp window he's going to have to be clean with, is as soon as he goes up, he's going to need... It's going to have to be Camel Lancers. He's going to have to micro them correctly and heal them up with these dervishes.
Yeah. Sipahi wrapping around from both sides on the gold. Where are healers, by the way?
Yep. And so, as I thought, the reason he didn't go full on the berry bush is he wanted economic wing, and here it comes. Oh, he went industry. Never mind.
Industry coming up. Does not feel like he wants to gather all of that wood. And as I say that, he's going full on the wood, so this looks like it's going to be Castle Archer play. Lunarspear has a bunch of Sipahi, has already +1 range defense, which is really nice for him. So if he puts a Mether, which is now in the queue, on top of that, he's having a decent army to fight veteran archers in case they come out.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Ezra's cooking. I can't tell if it is a delicious stew or if it's a pile of garbage yet.
I mean,
no idea.
The archer choice I could see, because if your gold gets denied, that is the only unit that you couldn't possibly be making that has a decent punch in Castle Age. You just need one upgrade for that and then you're good to go, but your opponent is just playing the perfect unit against it. We got Siege Tech coming.
Getting close enough to force a garrison, just getting some idle time every time Ezra is forced to garrison. It's 8 p.m. tax, but it's also idle time. So little economic wins here or there. I do want to know what Ezra's going to do with the industry wing, though.
Likely blacksmith, one more production building, a house, possibly a mosque, but I don't see that right now. I think you die if you just go for relics immediately.
I agree. I don't know.
And we have one double stable being set up, and Ezra is going to hit castle now. Let's go. Town set. What the hell?
What? I
did not see that coming. I will admit that one was not on my bingo card.
I feel like going for a second town center versus Ottomans is playing for the late game.
Look, it's really good. You get it for free from your age up, so that's very nice. How are you going to survive the next 5 minutes?
Yep, I don't know. I don't have that answer. What I do know is
double Lancers is out. It is Lancers and Archers.
Has a dock. So
interesting. And
we might get a wool here, maybe. No.
Did he see the gold? Did he see the? He has to know that this is going on. This is the only other gold that Ezra can go to. If he allows this to actually go up with double tower and potential upgrades,
I mean, it's gonna go up. It doesn't matter. Double tower. Ezra has access to golds.
Quickly,
and he's gonna have a decent little comp here with these Lancer archers.
We've got Fieldworks and Anatolian Hills, so this is full feudal mode. But if I look at that Ottoman army, it is moving towards the south, going straight for that new gold there. And how are we looking? Six archers. They are still feudal. No gold for the upgrade. And we only made 4 lancers because we couldn't afford anymore because, you know, we don't have any gold.
A little bit of a tight position for Ezra here, but he's got the second town center, so he should eventually be in a better position, I hope. But Ottomans, if they just put down 1 ram, they can push this tower.
Archers position. Being caught out. Sipahi just eat them immediately. 4 go down in a second. Ezra's going into farms.
And this is just... this is just so tight of timing. Yep, there's the ram. This gold can't be held anymore, and Ezra just doesn't have an army to fight yet. No veterancy on the archers coming in because gold is not really available. It's 250 gold.
Oh, catching both Imam with the Lancers is huge, but it's still not gonna be enough. Like, it's 43 to 14 army supply right now. These are not even castle archers.
Got spears, 2 barracks is being rushed up. Spears as maybe a hope and a prayer versus this Sabahi mob, but you need at least 5 or 6 minutes of just constant spear production to even make a dent into this. Meanwhile, Ram is going to work on the mosque. Relic gets pulled out of it. That second town center is going to be next up, and villagers don't have wheelbarrow either.
Did you see the villagers that are all the way in the south chopping wood? Because, you know, that's a much safer place than in their own base.
Yeah, their own base isn't their own base. That free second town center from the age up is now gone. Ezra is enjoying a nice villager lead, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he's enjoying himself very much as we see a Lancer trying to wrap around in the back of the Ottoman base. But yeah, there's a lot of spears already set up because Lancers have been scouted out earlier. This is looking slightly bad.
Go for a raid with the camel Lancers on the backside of Tyrus's base, but yeah, this is not looking good. Ezra's in a little bit of a bind. Going after the production buildings here, trying to do a farm transition in the back corner, and
we've got more Sipahi on the field than Ezra has total military.
Yep, yeah, 22, 5 more in production. It's kind of ugly. Villager's gonna try to do some damage to a ram, but not a. Yeah, one more ram,
nice
4
finds.
rams.
Lancers actually find some connections here. Reinforcements could be pulled there. Yeah, there's spears to defend this. So few dead villagers. If this keeps up for, let's say, another 10 minutes, then Ezra is definitely in the lead. It's not keeping up.
No, it's not. Sipahi are just like, I don't care. I'm gonna go in your base. I'm not afraid of a town center. I have a Mector. I am a-okay with my 4 ranged armor. Spears, rams moving up, so we're gonna have the final fight right here.
Yeah.
And Ezra is not going to have enough. Villager gets poked to death by spears. There's just not enough for Ezra to defend this.
It was an inspired idea. No, I'm trying to find a good way to shed some light on. No, there's why would we go for the second town center? Like, why?
Little bit of a mosh pit going on. Looks like the town center is fully garrisoned by Ezra. Gonna get some damage here, but not enough.
Wololo.
Desperate Wololo. Lunarspear pulls back, but it's only temporary.
Yeah, Lancers find another connection on some vills. We still have more Sipahi than total military. Second Wololo defense. Is that the second one? No, it's still on cooldown, so there is no second one. There it is.
Oh.
It was in the TC. I think he tried to pop it out on the other side, so he has a window to take out the rams. It's not enough.
No. This is you're just dying a slow death here. Villagers are desperately trying to repair. And for the time being, they're gonna be able to repair here. Ezra doesn't have enough military. Military is dying. He's down to 13 versus 62 on the other side. Rams, no rams. You can just burn down a TC at that point. Ezra ran out of wood to keep repairing this, so villagers just have to idle out, and yeah, GG gets called.
I kinda want Ezra in here to tell me his thought process of going for the town center. Like,
the only thing I could say is it was an idea. and an option among a sea of bad options. So why not?
Point taken. Yes. It's not the greatest matchup in the world. Yeah. That was very painful. Whew.
Yeah, not the most enjoyable if you're Ayyubids. However, their next game, Ezra has a little bit of a better matchup, though I do think some can argue that Tyrus has the civ advantage, but
Going on to
debatable.
Gorge. Let me find Gorge in his list. Oh my god, I have 2 Gorges here. Let's hope I find the right one. And it is going to be French versus Byzantine.
French versus Byzantine, and Byzantine is just a really strong civ. However, French is fast enough, has enough tempo where they can push them off those early berries. It's a matchup where Byzantine needs to strongly consider Hippodrome. So they are 3 minutes into the game, so it did just start, so we will be able to kind of catch it from its inception. But I think Ezra has to consider Hippodrome in that matchup, especially in Gorge, where you typically get a forward berry spawn.
Yeah, if you get forward berries, it's a little rough. Then again, French is not usually the one that tower rushes you, just getting the fast knight out. But you can live with that. You just can't cistern boom as much. Still, if French just is super aggressive and can relatively safely take the deer behind that, you're in for a bad time.
Yeah, so Gorge is kind of one of the maps where you can sort of like safely assume there's going to be some sort of forward berry spawn, forward resource spawn that Byzantine's going to want access to. Oh, got kicked.
What?
Cannot observe a modded match without downloading.
Because naturally they're playing EGC Gorge, because Ezra believes that EGC maps are just superior in every way, even if the only difference is that EGC Gorge is flipped 90 degrees. Okay, there's also a little different in the sheep spawn, but...
Alright, let me go grab EGC Gorge real quick. I grabbed it, so once it downloads, send me another invite, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, I was not expecting EGC Gorge, so I might have to take back what I said about how the map traditionally spawns, because EGC
it still spawns the same.
Still spawns the same? Okay.
It's just slightly better sheep spawn, arguably. And, you know, it's 90 degrees flipped.
Wait, what's wrong with the sheep spawn on Gorge?
It's just generally that they cluster up. It's slightly better on EGC Gorge, but it might also just be copium on my part.
I've never had an issue with Gorge sheep spawns, right? It's annoying because you have to bob and weave through the edges of the map, but I digress. If players better than me think it's a problem that EGC needed to create their own version of it, so be it.
They didn't, but in a second you're going to see... or rather in 10 seconds, you're going to see what's really the absolute difference there. So, yeah, folks, let's go into that together in this new experience for those who haven't seen it yet.
All right, what am I looking at here?
You're looking at, we're playing from the bottom left to top right instead of from top left to bottom right. It's just flipped.
Yeah. It's mirrored. That's
the only difference.
So, as I thought, spawning sort of on the northeast side, you have Ezra in the what needs to be color purple Byzantines, going with 2 on stone this time. I think we saw a game where it was 3 on stone opening, but the forward berry spawn. Definitely not something Byzantine wants to see. Definitely something that not enjoyable for them. The fact that he is not opening on berries with the Dark Age mill tells me that we likely won't see a Hippodrome. We likely will only see Grand Winery.
Oh, look at Tyrus's opening here. He opts for the mill directly under the TC for the immediate wheelbarrow. Now, I know that French gets discounted eco buildings and discounted eco techs, but I would still have taken the time to walk over to the berries. Still, it's a choice. I just haven't seen that yet. It's usually just a China thing to put a mill directly under TC.
It typically is. Usually I see players will just scout the first deer pack, then move out and get the mill there. But sometimes they'll see other players put it on the starting berries, though that's not always your favorite thing to do because you don't want to gather berries.
Oh yeah,
Right now you get
score
a little...
swap. Sorry, hold on. Let me fix that for you. Boop. There we go. And we got slight stutters again. Just pausing for a second. How are we looking for sheep? We've got Ezra here with 8. And we've got his opponent going up to 10. So yeah, French is pretty happy. French is very food dependent to keep up their aggression. So the more sheep you get, the more you can hurt people.
Yeah, and just kind of, you know, knowing how Gorge tends to play, this front of Ezra's base is where all the action is going to happen. French is going to have the first production building. They're going to have a night out, probably a little bit earlier than Ezra can realistically get a Limitani out to defend. So he's going to be able to idle those berries fairly early. Mercenary contract, could be Javs, could be English longbows. Not really any wrong answers there, but at some point I think Ezra's going to have to add a stables, add in horsemen, and probably start farm transitioning, because Tyrus as French is going to have a lot of map control.
Yeah. School of Cav with 5, rather with 4. He started off with 5, and it was kind of what I expected to see for like a super aggressive play against the forward resources, but we're going down to 4. We're going to be a little bit more eco-centric with the early wheelbarrow, probably investing into broadaxe next. And yeah, just gonna be a little heavier push later. Grand Winery on the other side, as we expected, forward on the berries. And yeah, that looks like it really needs a tower.
Yeah, that's going to be Tyrus's focal point. You want to do everything you can to not only delay but prevent that first batch of mercenaries coming out, because the tempo they get from that just gets them more mercenaries, right? If it's jab throwers or English longbows, both make it really hard to apply pressure. So you want to slow that down. You want to delay that as much as possible.
Yeah. I'll say if Ezra can get a little bit of respite, if he can push off the French aggression a little bit. If you look at the top side of his base, there is a berries, there's a boar, there's deer. That's a really nice spot for resources. And if you look at the wood lines, that is an easy wall all the way to the side.
Yeah, there's some opportunities for Ezra as this goes into the mid game for sure. But versus a French, got to get there.
Yeah.
Ooh, little bit of a misclick. He queued up a horseman, then he queued up a scout, and now he's got the Royal Knight. So slight delay there.
Just making Ezra, up his mind.
He knows he needs as much of this olive oil as possible. He's got 192 in. He's got 9 villagers. All his food villagers are on those berries. He just wants to get that first batch of mercenaries before that night gets here.
Yeah, French, meanwhile, going pro scouts, just El Clasico, not moving out to any resources, not risking any horseman aggression by Byzantines, unlikely as it is if you see them on the winery like that without a stable. But yeah, pro scouts it is, and we're gonna be seeing him grabbing those topside deer for himself. And I mean, on Gorge, the distance is so large. Yes, you deny your opponent the deer, but Byzantine doesn't necessarily care too much. Knight is arriving, though. Let's see if we can do some damage. And the Limitani is just too late.
He's just in time, actually.
Would that charge have connected with the spear, or would have connected with the villager is the question.
Yeah, so it would have connected with the spear, and charge just got deleted there. But Tyrus doesn't have enough knights now, so Ezra has secured his berries for the time being, and that's just a consequence of the pro scouts that Tyrus is going for.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Ezra's going to realize that this is a pro scout play here just in a couple seconds when he doesn't see that second knight. because second night should have already been here by now. Sometimes it gets delayed.
Yeah.
But
Scout
yeah.
is moving out again now. So either he's checking the deer in the dark and sees them disappearing. But that could also mean that your opponent is actually just out on the deer. But yeah, you definitely need to check, and you also need to check how many archery ranges are currently on the other side of the field. And the answer to that is absolutely none.
0. But so French could do a really disgusting timing here, especially on a Pro Scouts build, which is basically knights only and fast castle into royal bloodlines. Not fast castle, right? You want like 9 or 10 knights, and then you have these royal bloodline knights that do not care about Limitane.
Yeah, you just walk in and have a good time. Scout of Ezra coming from the southern side, so unfortunately he does not see anything important here. Production buildings are on the other side, and he can't go across the TC, so he has to walk all the way around to see something useful.
Yeah, and French is one of the hardest civs to scout for Fast Castle, because it's like, oh, 9 on gold, and you're like, oh no, this is French. They just want to make knights. Ooh, Charge connects on the villager there, but Ezra's able to pull him back.
One knight is still dangerous here. Nice aggression though, and Ezra's scout is just poking and prodding, but he still hasn't seen the second stable. So if you see 9 on gold and you only see 1 stable, you're like, oh, this is Castle Age, but it's not. This is just full-on feudal double knight production.
Correct. So another barracks kind of coming in, and we have jav throwers. Jav throwers perfectly fine. You know, they can pick off retreating knights. And I think Ezra, trying to tower the gold, maybe is thinking, I can get Castle Age here.
I mean, the Javs give you the ability to fight against a potential big archer play, as French usually does, but if Ezra doesn't scout the second stable and doesn't scout that there is absolutely no archers coming, then this is just wasted resources. Okay, I mean, he gets the Javs for free, but still.
Yeah, I mean, you like the Jav contract in this matchup. French going to lean heavy into knights. If you can make it to Castle Age, you get access to camels. The neutral does have royal knights, which would be hilarious if Ezra could sneak up there, but there's no other way he can get camels based upon these neutrals, and you kind of want them in this matchup. So Javs makes a lot of sense.
Okay, he sees the double second stable now, sees the blacksmith. Still, eventually you expect to see some... Oh no, the Javs! All by the lonesome out there. One goes down immediately.
Limitane don't have all their friends around, so they can't take that fight, but do get reinforced here. And I think Ezra's in a okay position. He's starting his farm transition. It's slightly suboptimal because it can't be around the Grand Winery. He has no choice. It's just too far away from his base for him to be able to defend that.
Yeah. Wallalo TV, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome to the Warchief Club. We're in round 3, I believe. Yeah, should be round 3. And we're watching Tyrus trying to bully Ezra. Scores up 2-0 for Tyrus. And nice raid on the backside, but we're still on 0 villager kills.
Yeah, so technical correction, this is round 2 quarterfinals. Knock Knock is awaiting the winner of this. Meanwhile, Gully Deckle and Creator are in the semifinals.
Beautiful charge at the front. Yeah, Ezra is just not having military everywhere. Technically, he had vision there with the housing tech, but just not the reaction time that was required. And if you look at Tyrus's resources, is he still gonna... Yeah, okay, triple stable. Never mind. I'm not gonna say the word castle anymore.
Oh, no, Knights charge in, pick off another villager, and this is that forward Grand Winery. Just the decision you never want to make coming into effect here. Knights are just going to be able to raid it, be able to harass it, and you're never going to be able to just have peace of mind of knowing your food and your olive oil production is safe. But now a little bit of a dangerous time. Ezra realizes that all Tyrus has is knights. He's seen no archers. He scouted no archery range.
He doesn't have the numbers. It's just 11 Limitani, 13 Limitani here at the front. The knights can just eat them unless they just walk into range and not charge.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going straight for the gold. We kind of need to take a fight now. Or we go straight for the reinforcements. That is the other option, and just abandon the gold for the time being.
Yeah, Knight's just going to pick off some of these Limitane reinforcements. Nice little surround there.
Excellent fights here. He just doesn't lose anything for that and just keeps killing units. Unless the formation shuffle kind of forces him into the big spear ball, he's just fine doing this.
The important thing is it forces Ezra to pull back his pressure, because he needs all the spears at his base to defend against this knight. Mass.
Oh my god, it's an archery range. It's an archery range. It's happening. And we have another raid at the woodline. Ezra going full into olive groves. He's too afraid to leave his base. He doesn't go for any outside resources.
Knight does go down there, but definitely worth it.
He has 22 brothers.
More damage. But yeah, I mean, I'm shocked this is an archery range at this point. If I'm Tyrus, I'm thinking, you know what? Can I survive to castle playing like this? And the answer is yes, he can. And just get royal bloodlines.
He actually ate through his entire home gold already. So we're going up to the big gold. But Ezra does not have any cavalry, so there is no raids coming. This is perfectly safe. And with 25 knights against the same amount of spears... Oh god, this is looking real rough for Ezra. Especially because he's going full into the olive groves. Like, yeah, it's eventually gonna pay off, but... Dude, this is so much investment.
He also looks like he's going castle, which could be a good out for him if he can survive. Tyrus showing no signs of wanting to go to castle, so you get veterancy on the Limitane and you get camels. It suddenly doesn't look so bad to go castle here. The only question is, will he survive?
I mean, it's pretty much his only out at this point. He already spent the resources into the olive grove, so he cannot catch up to the knight numbers anymore. But looks like his opponent does not want to give him that opening. We're getting textiles for the French, which I guess just means he's gonna prepare for his huge all-in and doesn't want to go home at any point due to any pressure, but still, weird choice.
I am a little perplexed by a textile option. Maybe he did it so he can have an easier time with his boar, right? The timing on that worked out pretty well, but French you don't normally see textiles from. Normally French is forcing them into textiles.
Yeah, the anti-fun technique that you sacrifice a villager for, but sometimes it's worth because otherwise you would lose more villagers.
Yeah, so now Archer's starting to make it to the front here, and yeah, Tyrus might have a good window. Nice little window here to put some pressure. There's only 7 javs. I stand corrected, 11 javs, so that's enough to one-shot an Archer. So Archer's being pulled back, or at least concentrated in the middle here. And Ezra, I mean, the more time that goes on, the longer they both stay in feudal. I got to imagine the happier Ezra is.
Oh yeah, eventually those olive groves pay you back, but there's 28 knights and we barely have more Limitani than that. This is not a good prospect for a fight.
Yeah, and I think Tyrus, finally put together that Ezra wants Castle Age. That many on gold, 12 on gold is a Castle Age signal.
11 so archers now moving out. Once these are here and we take a direct fight, like I'm saying Ezra's just dead, but let's see here.
I'm in agreement.
Golden Horn is coming up. And I mean, if Ezra pulls back now, and if Ezra can stay alive for about a minute longer and avoid a fight, he can.
Yeah, but as soon as that age up comes in, I think Tyrus is just going to move in. That's his window.
Ezra needs to run away for that entire time until his upgrades hit. And then it's still a bad fight.
if he can get veterancy, right? How long is veterancy? Let me take a quick look. Veterancy is 32 seconds on his spears.
Oh god, he only has level 3 cisterns, so this is gonna be even longer. Archers are here. Where are all my Jeffs? Here they come, 15 of them, so that's a decent number against that amount of archers, but at the same time, that's not the problem. The problem is that we've got 33 knights against 33 spears.
Yep, Golden Horn Tower about to click in. Veterancy needs to be the first upgrade he gets for those Limitane.
In we go!
Okay, we got veterancy for Mercs, and Tyrus is like, alright, time to go. We're doing this now. And veterancy not clicked up for this Limitane.
Here it comes,
there it
30
is.
seconds. The Javs are veteran now. But are we not taking this fight? Are we just gonna do eco damage and move away? Because then we actually give Biz way back into this game.
We do. And alright, picks off some villagers on his way out, but it looks like Tyrus does not want to take this fight now. He's not ready for it, so he's got to go castle. He's got no choice. If you didn't want to take this fight earlier, you most certainly do not want to take it now.
I mean, it's a decent fight now on open ground, and we're not going in. This is very anticlimactic.
Yep, shield wall goes up.
And here we go.
Charge.
Point blank charge. And we're moving away again. Like, this is so careful, so scared to fight with that overwhelming amount of knights.
Yeah, the surround, it's over.
And it's
over.
done. Yeah, like, that's so many olive groves. Like, Ezra not going for these resources here, just killed him. I do like the triple stable play.
So I'm getting corrected in chat. Apparently, it's pronounced Tayrus.
Tayrus?
So,
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Tyrus. Tayrus, okay.
I'll take all the blame for that. I'm American. We have a poor education system. Enough said.
Okay, so technically Ezra's still alive because he has a golden horn and he's castle age, and there's only 24 knights here.
Only 24 knights. And Tayrus is really close to castle age, royal bloodlines, and GG.
Royal Institute coming up. Why are we having Royal Institute? Why aren't we here and burning town centers while we laugh maniacally?
Because you just wait for royal bloodlines, and then there's nothing, like, you can still throw now. It's theoretically possible to throw this game.
I am an expert in throwing.
Yes, but once you get royal bloodlines, like, it becomes almost impossible to throw the game, because crossbows knights don't care about, spears knights don't care about, camels knights don't care about. They just don't care about anything at that point once royal bloodlines comes in. Forget veterancy. It's helpful, but royal bloodlines is what you really want. And Ezra hears the age up come in, but can't really do anything about it. Doesn't have the force. Doesn't have enough.
Whee! Okay. Tyrus. Tyrus? Is it Tyrus or Tyrus? I'll take both as we take this fight completely without our upgrades and still overwhelmingly win.
Yeah. GG gets called right there. And I think that's a 3-0 for Ezra, which I did not have on my bingo card.
Quick, Liquid, help me out. Which one was my second option? Tyrus. I'm just gonna go for Tyrus and leave it at that.
Yeah, so what does he get? He gets a date with Knock Knock. That's what he gets for that.
I mean, that's nice. I mean, Knock Knock is a nice guy. And French takes this one away. I mean, Gorge is a good map for that. You just be in their face, and if your opponent is too scared to move out to outside resources, they die even harder. So yeah, like, it's really bad for Ezra to be stuck in his base like that, not being able to aggress at all.
Yeah, Byzantines wants to play a little bit turtley there. Byzantines is a really powerful civ, but the one thing you don't want to see on the other side is French. French is pretty much a ugly matchup for you at times, just because how aggressive they can be, how powerful those Royal Knights are, and just how they will not leave you alone, right?
It's a good map for it to just be in your opponent's face.